Well, hey folks, Real Honesty with Jeremy Linds, Rapid Fire episode 64. Got a few topics that I want to talk about and a few topics that people suggested to me, and I managed to write down your Twitter handle, so thank you guys very much for that. I do want to offer a little bit of a channel update just in the beginning. You guys, for those that did not see it on my Twitter, because some of you all may not have Twitter, I have been feeling burned out a bit lately, so you may notice a slight drop in the number of videos that will be happening from, for the next few weeks, just due to being burned out and the fact that I have produced so many videos, over the past few years, especially almost the past 3. So I'm going to take just a little bit of a slight break, but I will be doing videos still, weekly reviews and stuff like that, and I will be, of course, reviewing a ton of New Japan that's going to be coming up next month. But yeah, if you see a little bit of a drop in the number of videos that I usually do, do not worry. I am okay. The channel's not going away. I just need to ease back a little bit for my own sanity and also because I want to deliver the best content to you guys. So I do want to thank you guys so much for supporting the channel so far, whether you're one of the original subscribers, fairly new subscriber, or you just are watching this video and you go back and watch my other videos. I do really appreciate it, and thank you guys for putting up with my angry rants and my various points on wrestling and life in general. I just really appreciate it. So it means a lot. I just wanted to offer that a little bit right there. But anyway, let's get cracking on with this stuff. And these are just things that I've read, that have been reported, that I'm giving my opinions on. I'm not breaking this stuff. I ain't a reporter, I ain't a journalist. I ain't going to say any of that kind of BS. And I'm not saying that there aren't people that aren't reporters and journalists. I'm just not going to claim to be something I'm not. I'm just a wrestling fan. Just a wrestling fan giving my opinions. I think more people need to make that clear in their YouTube videos instead of trying to claim to be more than they are. Just be who you are, be real, and that's it. Hence the title, Real Honesty with Jeremy Linds. So, Kenny Omega, by the way, is not racist. For those that are taking any comments that he made, and look up the comments if you want. I'm not even going to give it the time of day and try to dissect anything. Kenny Omega ain't racist. Not at all. So that's it. Just stop that bullshit. You really think he's going to move to Japan, be one of the biggest stars in Japan, be best friends with Kota Ibushi, who, by the way, is Japanese, learn Japanese and do all that kind of stuff. You think he'd really do that if he was racist? I mean, really? I know people have done stupid things in their life, and probably will in the future, myself included. I've done plenty of stupid shit, but I'm sorry. I know what it's like to be racist. I used to be racist. And I had to change. And by the way, you can check out that video if you want. It's in my assorted playlist. It's like change for the better. Or changing for the better, or something like that. The whole point is Kenny Omega ain't racist, so just stop it. Stop it. Get some help. So, a couple of injury news pieces. Sami Zayn, injury out until 2019. 2 torn rotator cuffs. Ouch. That's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because, A, the guy wasn't being creatively used well anyway, the Lashley angle, anybody, and even before that, he wasn't being used all that great. Him and Kevin Owens have been spinning their wheels for a while as a team, which is unfortunate given how entertaining they are. I think that Sami Zayn is going to come back as a babyface. I love him as a heel, but I'm just saying after this, they almost had to bring him back as a babyface. I think he's going to be back in time for the Royal Rumble. Either at the Royal Rumble or the night after. He will be back in time for Mania, though. At least, I'm hopeful. Hopefully there aren't any complications. The speedy recovery of Sami Zayn. Hopefully he comes back with a renewed push. Hope the man is long overdue for it. That Lashley angle did him no favors. Did Lashley no favors? Did Zayn no favors? Did the fans watching no favors? Did nobody any favors except maybe Vince and Kevin Dunn, because they probably found it funny because Vince is a senile idiot and Kevin Dunn is a stupid Bucky Beavertooth motherfucker. There's my one per show. And I'm going to keep saying that because Kevin Dunn's a stupid Bucky Beavertooth motherfucker who hopefully gets fired from his job soon because the man has enough money. And sorry, he's terrible at his fucking job. Anyway, hopefully Sami Zayn recovers. He certainly deserves a big push when he comes back. Am I saying he's going to be WWE champion, Universal champion? Probably not. But at least give him a mid-card title. If you have him on, if you put him on SmackDown for whatever reason, have him go for the US title. If he's back on Raw, have him go for the IC title. This man can be a really, really good, solid mid-card, upper mid-card guy, and then you can build him back up to a main event. I would give him a main event push, but we know Vince likes to push Roman. because of course he does. Anyway, I'll discuss that stuff about Reigns in another rant at some point, probably closer to Extreme Rules. And that's nothing against Reigns. It's the booking and all that shit. Another injury. Charlotte apparently is undergoing surgery for a ruptured implant, which is news to me because I thought she had actually undergone that already after Backlash and was going to be ready for Money in the Bank. Apparently she didn't. Or maybe there was something done to, like, stop what was going on, but that she, would work it and then they would go in and fix the problem later. It's kind of dumb because even though Charlotte did some spectacular shit in that Money in the Bank, women's Money in the Bank ladder match, so did a lot of women. I mean, Lana was also there. She didn't injure herself or somebody else, so good job there. But there were a lot of really, really good bumps and scary bumps in that shit, so hopefully Charlotte recovers. She should be back in time for SummerSlam, but regardless, she has really worked hard. I'm not the biggest Charlotte fan, but she has certainly earned her place in wrestling. She has done well. She has done extremely well. She continues to do some great things in the ring. Yeah, okay, you can say she's a carbon copy of her dad. You can either have her forge her own path while using some stuff from her dad, or you can completely ignore that bullshit and make it like, Joe Henning was when they made a Michael McGillicuddy, because that worked out so well. I like Charlotte. I don't love Charlotte, but I certainly don't want anybody injured. And hopefully she's going to be okay. Hopefully she's going to recover from this 100%. That's the problem with implants. They're no goddamn joke. And hopefully she's going to be okay. And also Jason Jordan's apparently going to come back from injury. Good. I mean, good. No one should cheer for an injury. I mean, there have been times I've gotten a bit exuberant about the fact that maybe some of the people I don't like won't be on TV, but I certainly never wish it's because of injury or because of any family tragedy. I mean, there are some times I don't want to see people on TV, but my God, I'm not going to be that cruel. And let's wish a speedy recovery to both Zayn, Charlotte, and, hopefully Jason Jordan can come back and be really good. Jason Jordan's a freakish athlete, a really damn good athlete. This Kurt Angle illegitimate son thing was bad, really bad, and I'm sorry, I don't even think the payoff would have been worth it had he not been injured. And Dean Ambrose maybe will be coming back soon, hopefully. I hope so. I hope he comes back at Extreme Rules. I hope he comes back in time for SummerSlam, because he's been out a while. So hopefully he'll be okay. Just Dean, I miss Dean Ambrose on TV. And then we go, Big Cass being released. I mentioned this briefly with the Derb at the beginning of our SmackDown Live review, SmackDown Live 205 Live review, the Toledo, Ohio one. It's under the name Tostitos, by the way, because that's how creative the Derb is with names. Seriously, the guy's great. Best friend I've ever had. No disrespect to any of my other very, very close friends or best friends. No disrespect. So anyway, Big Cass being released. Apparently this stems from the whole thing where he beat up the midget and went too far and disobeyed a direct order from Vince. Bad move. And then also, I guess that really, really long-winded promo we had where him and Renee were standing and the crowd was behind him, kind of like the old Superstars of Wrestling promos and stuff like that. And how they did the old opens for the pay-per-views, and they would just have the announcer standing up and that kind of stuff. I guess Cass ignored the writers and ignored Kevin Dunn and blew him off, which I gotta admit that's kind of cool that he blew off Kevin Dunn. I mean, I know that it led to his release. I don't like Big Cass, but anytime Kevin Dunn gets basically told to fuck off or gets blown off because he's terrible at his goddamn job and should not be around anymore, yeah, that's kind of funny. But yeah, Big Cass, no doubt, was going to get released. I had a feeling that after that whole report came out about him beating up the midget and going too far with it and disobeying Vince of all people, yeah, his time was going to be limited. I actually was amazed that he wasn't canned right there. But then when they released him right after Money in the Bank, I'm like, that's a big factor of it. Who knows what else the reasons were. And I guess Enzo's going to be making his return to wrestling SummerSlam weekend for House of Glory Wrestling, which I've never heard of them. I don't care to hear about them. That's a stupid thing to bring somebody that was never any good in wrestling back to the ring. And, they may want to reunite Enzo and Cass, but that they had some kind of falling out last year. Whatever. I don't care. If I don't... Enzo, quite frankly, is just a scumbag anyway, whether he did anything to that girl or not. He's just a scumbag anyway, because he won't move on from the bullshit. And actually realize that, hey, I didn't do anything, and I should, be a bigger person. Now he decided to be stupid. And Big Cass, sorry, the guy may only be 30 years old, and I think he's going to be 31 a little bit later this year, but he's just not... I don't see him having a very long career in wrestling because he's not very good. He's really not. And I know it takes a few months for people to get back when they come from injury, but they just weren't very good, like, at all. And then we go with somebody that also had some controversy surrounding him, Rich Swann, who's going to be appearing on Impact. And if I'm right, his wife, Su Yung, is on Impact also. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I try to keep up on Impact some, but Josh Matthews still works for them, so I'm sorry. I'm not really going to pay attention to a company that has that kind of cancer on their TV. And sorry, the guy is freaking ear cancer. He's terrible at his freaking job. And he's a horrible commentator. I don't even know if he currently does commentary, but he's just terrible at his job. Anyway, you got to put over the talents, not make it all about you. Rich Swann appearing on Impact. I think if I remember right, there were like pictures and even footage from tapings that like happened a few weeks ago or something where he's going to appear. I was like, all right, this isn't the best look because they got rid of El Patron earlier this year. Yeah, earlier this year, late last year, something like that. No, earlier this year. Sorry, it kind of gets muddied. They got rid of Bram, and we know what Bram likes to do to women. If Swann and his wife can move on with this, if it was an incident that got blown out of proportion, which I don't know if it was, if it's just something they want to move on from, and he is getting counseling and this kind of stuff and whatever, it's like a Ray Rice situation. If he makes the right decisions and can actually, grow and realize his mistake and continuously apologize and show that he's changed, then okay. Personally, I wouldn't bring the guy in because, yes, he's a really good athlete. I don't know. I don't think they really need the guy, quite frankly. Do they need talents? Yes. Hopefully they don't go after Enzo and Cass. Like, for the love of God, do not go after them. You do not need them. You want to go for Rich Swann? Okay. If him and his wife can work things out, and she can forgive him, and he doesn't do anything like that again, ever, then okay. I'm certainly not comfortable with it, but at the same time, it is also between him and her. As long as he never puts his hands on her like that, or in any violent form or fashion, okay. He does it again, then he needs to be released. And I don't even know if he signed a contract. I stand by what I said in the Rich Swann video that I did while the Derb was off in mission control. I stand by it, and I will continue to stand by it, that domestic abuse is no goddamn joke. And if you are a man that hits a woman, especially you're a significant other, if you're somebody that, it doesn't matter what gender you are and what gender you're dating, if you take advantage of your significant other like that, you're a scumbag. There are people that have done that. Like I said, I use the Ray Rice thing as an example. If he can change and realize he made his mistake, and she can forgive him, and nothing like this ever happens again, then maybe things can move on. I'm just not comfortable with him appearing on Impact. But whatever, it's their company. It's their business. If he can add a boost to business, great. If he causes a drop in business, that they lose sponsors or whatever, okay, maybe not the best idea to bring him. We'll see what happens. I'm not comfortable with it, but is what it is. It is their life at the end of the day. And I'm going to talk about the current women's champions. Alexa, look, I'm just going to be honest. Alexa doesn't really need the title right now. She's well established, but hey, she's a heel. I get where they're going with it. But to me, this whole thing of her and Nia was not a very interesting feud anyway. Like heading into Mania 34, it sort of was. And then it just lost all its steam. And then suddenly Nia switches heel for this feud with Ronda, and now the roles are reversed, and now Nia's the bully, and Alexa's not the bully. I guess Alexa's sort of a pseudo face. I mean, or not, I don't know. Maybe she's going to play a face versus Nia and a heel versus Ronda. Alexa may be the best standing champion that they have right now for the women. Carmella just isn't. And I want everybody to understand, if you were a fan of Carmella and you are watching this, I don't care if you're a fan, because I'm not knocking you guys. I'm not saying she's a bad person. I'm not saying she hasn't tried hard. But if she was in, say, if this was 2011, 2012, and she was champion, I could understand it. I can understand it because they made goddamn Kelly champion at one point. I mean, come on. And Kelly beat Beth Phoenix in Buffalo, New York, which I believe is Beth Phoenix's hometown, or at least where she was billed from. And insane glam slam off the top. Ouch. I don't know how Beth didn't have a shattered tailbone after that. It was Nia Champions 2011. Anyway, if this was 2011, 2012, then I could understand Carmella being champion. Maybe even 2013. But now, the thing is there's such a disparity, just such, like a distance from other women way up here and Carmella. And I'm sorry, but Carmella's way down here. And no, that's not a euphemism, that's not a joke or anything like that. I don't find Carmella attractive, you do, that's fine. And no, I'm not downgrading her as a person. There's a difference between hating the character and hating a person. She's just not good enough to be champion. She hasn't improved enough. The match quality is shit. I'm sorry, that match with Charlotte at Backlash was garbage. It was. Now, yeah, apparently I guess Charlotte was working with an injury and this kind of stuff, so okay, the ruptured implant, which hopefully can be cleared up again. That match with Asuka was garbage. Carmella she isn't good enough to be dominant. She's good enough as a character to be a cowardly heel, but that's it. And her ring work is just not that good. So yeah, she's not really worth the investment they're giving. I mean, it's not Mella's money, it's Mella's Monopoly money as far as I'm concerned. But again, if you guys are fans of her, tremendous. I really hope that she positively influences you guys. She just ain't really good to be champion. She's just not. Not at all. Then you got Shayna Baszler, who, the matches just aren't interesting to me. From the few matches I've seen of hers, and I've watched the NXT tapings also, but the match she had in January with Ember wasn't very good. The match she had in April against Ember wasn't very good. I mean, I guess it was a little better, and I knew Shayna was going to win. The match she had with Dakota Kai was okay. I mean, I guess it wasn't really that good. Other matches she's had, she's not interesting enough. And then the match she had with Nikki Cross, sorry, but that was a flat finish. I mean, Nikki doing the whole thing where she wouldn't give her the satisfaction of tapping out was nice, but it was flat. It was a flat finish. I just don't find Shayna that interesting. I just don't. I know some of you watching may, and that's fine. That is perfectly fine. But I just would rather, I feel like going to sleep. It's like the old translation error and, the old NES games, the old Metal Gear games. I feel asleep. Good old translation errors there. But anyway, the current women's champions are just not very good. I mean, Alexa is certainly that bad. And this is not knocking them as people. But they're going to need better champions by SummerSlam. And I mean, unfortunately, after SummerSlam, that's probably going to be Rousey. If Carmella loses, that'll probably be Becky. At least I hope it's Becky. And I don't know who's going to beat Shayna, because I don't know who the fuck you have in NXT that's going to do it. I mean, maybe Kairi Sane. Maybe Dakota Kai, but Dakota Kai already lost. I don't know who the fuck you're going to have win. I don't know who the fuck you're going to have beat Shayna, but you're going to need to get better champions here soon. And then we go to NXT UK. This was suggested by Farron53. Great guy to talk to, by the way. Great guy to talk to on Twitter. He puts up with a lot of my annoying jokes and the way I can turn almost anything dirty. It's a gift. It's also a curse. But the NXT UK brand, I guess they're going to have a weekly it's either a weekly or every other week like schedule where they're going to have their own tag team division, their own women's division, their own heavyweight division. I'm intrigued, but at the same time, I don't know how exactly they're going to do this. I don't know if they're going to take all the wrestlers from the UK and like say, maybe even take Becky Lynch and put her over there, which would be odd. I mean, I guess they could take Nikki Cross also. They could take a bunch of their UK, their British, Irish, Scottish based wrestlers and put them over there. But it would just be an odd move. Because then it would be like, hey, we know we signed you guys and you get to tour all these big places and stuff like that. We're going to put you back over here just under our contracts. I mean, I'm for it if it gives people more places to work. I'm for that. I hope that it works. I hope that more people get a chance to be on a bigger stage. Maybe this can, do more co-promoting. I know WWE does some co-promoting with, I believe, a couple UK brands. I know they do also with an independent brand, Evolve. I've seen a little bit of Evolve. I believe they're doing a co-branding with Pro Wrestling Noah in Japan. They're sending Hideo Itami over there for a show. I don't know why, because I don't know why they're going for Noah. I mean, there's nothing against Noah, but I've heard they've kind of fallen on their ass as far as tickets go and everything. They're having to offer deep discounts for people to come later to the show, which is exactly the best thing. Hey, show up at this point, and it's this much off the ticket. You advertise that kind of stuff, you're basically undercutting. You need to load up your card and everything. But the whole point is UK brand. I'm not sure on all the details yet because depending on which report you see, it could be more fiction than fact. If it helps get more exposure for the UK people, I'm all for it. I hope it works. I hope it works out great. I don't know if I'm going to be able to ingest a ton more content. Maybe this is the way of realizing that the NXT brand as it stands maybe won't go away, but that maybe they'll do more co-promoting, they'll bring in some British stars and this kind of stuff, but it almost seems like it's undercutting those in the Performance Center because there are a lot of people in the Performance Center that never get to see TV or never get to see TV that much because they keep bringing in all these indie stars. And I'm for all these indie stars being in there. I don't know. I hope it works out. I don't know if it will work out. And I guess it's all just because of World of Sports. But my thoughts on Ference 53 is I hope it works out. I don't know if it's going to. But hey, good on them, and I wish the talents all the best, honestly. And Kiko Noel 91, Cassie. By the way, I thought you got rid of your Twitter. Just saying. Thought you got rid of your Twitter. But you're asking about Ellsworth's return. I didn't really need to see him return. I have nothing against Ellsworth as a person. He seems like a very nice guy in interviews. Seems very humble. He is one of the best sellers in the business. He really is a damn good seller. And for how he looks, you would not think he would be a pro wrestler. But good on him. He has managed. He took what he had in WWE from that one squash match with Braun, got signed, and turned it into just over a year-long run. I think just about a year-long run. And now he's back. I don't know if he's back for the long term or the short term. I don't know. But I'm all for it, honestly. If it means that he can maybe get, some more indie dates after this. I don't think it's going to be a long-term thing. I don't think Carmella needs him. And I mean, this is just my personal opinion. They're not a bad pair at all. I just don't think she needs him. That's my take. But Ellsworth's return, it didn't need to happen. It made Asuka look ridiculous because Asuka's just like all shocked. I don't know if the timing was wrong. I don't know if Asuka got confused. I don't know if Carmella missed her cue. I don't know what the fuck happened. Ellsworth does need to learn to wink a little better. So there you go. There you go. That I can't really blink with that eye too well. But I can blink with that one. Ow. I need to stop blinking. Almost caught my eyelid back there. See how safe of a person I am. I can injure myself by, just blinking. So, Ellsworth's return. I don't know. I didn't need to see it, but I have nothing against the guy. I don't really care for Carmella, but whatever. They're a good annoying pair, and it will lead to, hopefully, Becky maybe beating both. Oh, God. Becky could beat both of them in a handicap match. she can make Ellsworth tap out and then Carmella loses her title. Ooh, make that happen. Make that happen. Oh, yes, now I want to see it. And so, New Patriot 77 asking about the future of the IWGP World title. It asks us about a lot of the titles, honestly. We're not going to ever see, or we're not going to see anything close to a 2-year reign for a good long while. Okada might eventually have another 2-year reign, or, have a 2-year reign when he had almost a 2-year reign that just ended at Dominion in Osaka and Joe Hall, which, by the way, was a tremendous event. And I do want to take a moment to thank everybody who watched the Dominion and Osaka Joe Hall review. Over 400 views. It really means a lot that you guys appreciate my New Japan reviews. And I do also want to apologize if any fans of my New Japan reviews are watching. I did not review Kazuna Road 2018 nights 2 and 3 due, quite frankly, to pretty much having a breakdown. So I do want to apologize for that. Well, I mean, I can't say that the breakdown was necessarily planned. Never is. But that's why I didn't review them. I was burned out breaking down. I didn't want to also deliver a bad product and bad review to you guys. Anyway, future of the IWGP World title. This is what I believe. Omega is going to hold it till Wrestle Kingdom. Ibushi's going to win the G1. Ibushi's going to challenge him. Ibushi is going to turn heel and is going to take the IWGP World title from Omega. Omega at this point has beaten Okada, so he won the title. He's going to beat Cody watch Cody win all of a sudden. Cowbells. He's going to beat Cody. He's going to beat a couple other challengers along the way to Wrestle Kingdom. Wrestle Kingdom 13, that is. In case I said 12. I don't know if I did. And that review did pretty well, by the way. Almost 300 views. But anyway, I believe Ibushi's going to beat him at Wrestle Kingdom 13. And then I don't know what you do with Ibushi as champion. I mean, you could have him have it till Dominion, and then you could toss it to another person. Maybe Naito beats him. Ibushi joins LIJ temporarily, and then you have Division, and you have Naito challenge Ibushi at Dominion, and then Naito finally wins it. And then Naito maybe goes on a run to Wrestle Kingdom, that kind of stuff. You're going to see a lot of 6-month to maybe 9-month reigns, probably, but I don't believe you're going to see a year-long reign. I don't know if Omega is going to have a year-long reign. He could. I'm not saying I would be opposed to it. I think you're going to see some more shorter title reigns. If you see anything beyond a year before somebody wins it in, say, 2020, I'll be amazed. That's just my opinion. I don't think, and also I do not believe Okada is going to hold it next year. I may have said that he may possibly hold it again in 2019. I think he's not going to hold it again until 2020. He's not going to need to, because he's already established as one of the greatest IWGP World Champions ever. Heavyweight champions, whatever you want to call it. So I think that the future is going to have some good champions. Ibushi and Naito, I believe, are going to take it at some point. They're going to hold the gold before 2020. So I'm still holding with Ibushi beating Omega at Wrestle Kingdom 13. I mean, maybe it doesn't happen. Maybe they have Naito take it from Omega. I don't know. But we'll see. Something's going to have to happen with this Ibushi Omega story, though. Because Ibushi going heel would actually be tremendous. As likable as Ibushi is, I think he could be a perfect heel. So anyway, that's what I gotta say. I want to thank Farron53, Keiko Noel 91, and New Patriot 77 for the topics. And again, I will try to bring back the questions from e-shows at some point. Maybe not this month. I might not bring them back until sometime in July. But we'll see. Anyway, do you agree? Do you disagree with what I said? Like, share, comment, subscribe. Twitter link in the description. It's been Real Honesty with John Rittland. Rapid Fire episode 64, and I will see you soon.